Baby, why are you so small? It was after dinner when I was curling up against Lewis's arms and he rested his chin in the crook of my neck and suddenly murmured. But his words froze me. I was 5 feet 3 inches and he was 6 feet 2 inches. We had been together for 6 years, so how could he suddenly be surprised by my size? I forced a playful smile.
What?
6 years, and you're just now realizing I'm short. Lewis's face flickered with something, guilt, maybe, before he quickly covered it up. He scooped me into his arms, pinned me gently against the wall, and kissed me deeply. When he pulled back, his voice was soft and warm. How could I miss it, baby? I love how perfectly you fit in my arms. That night, his passion felt different, almost like a silent apology. It stretched past midnight, leaving me breathless. The next morning, my sister Clark stopped by with a gift from her travels. She smirked, eyeing me. Lewis really doesn't hold back, does he? Not worried about breaking you. I squeezed her hand and whispered, Clark, I'm calling off the wedding. Her eyes widened.
What?
Claire, maybe it's just a misunderstanding. She unpacked takeout, arranging it neatly on the table. Think about it. Lewis has taken care of you for 6 years. Mom and Dad always say he treats you like a princess. Outside, he's all business, but at home, he's your loyal puppy. I pulled the cartoon blanket, something Lewis once waited 3 hours at Disneyland to buy, tighter around me. Sometimes, I wondered if I'd been spoiled too much. But whenever I said that, Lewis would just smile. Claire, you're a gift from God. Gifts are meant to be cherished. Then his ringtone interrupted. I answered, and his worried voice came through. Baby, don't eat the pasta. The chef used shrimp sauce. I just saw the order details. Toss it or give it to Clark. I'll take you out tonight, okay? His familiar, caring tone hit me like a bitter pill. My throat tightened. Okay, I mumbled. After the call, Clark grinned, sliding the pasta toward herself. Your fiancé's memory is unreal. He even double-checks orders. You really think Lewis is cheating? No way. I stayed quiet, my emotions tangled. Ever since a mild seafood allergy left me covered in hives years ago, Lewis had been obsessive about checking my food. That night, he'd stayed by my hospital bed, eyes red with worry. I'll always make sure your food is safe, he'd promised.
And he had.
But then Clark opened the last takeout box, scrambled eggs sprinkled with green onions. My hand froze. I hate green onions and eggs. Clark glanced at the order slip, then at me. Wait, didn't Lewis order this? You don't like green onions. Her face turned serious. So, he's ordering for someone else? Lewis, meticulous as ever, had never once messed up my order. So, who is this for? His words from last night echoed in my head. A bitter feeling spread through me as I forced a weak smile.
Yeah.
He's cheating. My fiancé, who once loved only me, was now ordering food for another woman with the same care he'd always shown me. So, this other woman, she was tall and loved green onions, right? I grabbed my car keys. Clark, I'm going to Lewis's office. I had to see who could steal the heart of the man who'd loved me for 6 years. Was she a secretary chasing a promotion? A starry-eyed intern? Maybe an actress trying to climb into the Altair family? My mind raced with possibilities. But I was wrong about all of them. Lewis was on set, filming a commercial for his company. One look, and I knew we were done. Laura Madison. 5 feet 9 inches, long curly hair, the face of the campaign. A model with a disability, her left calf fitted with a sleek prosthetic. Then it clicked. Lewis's late mother had also been disabled. As the illegitimate son of the Altair family, Lewis had faced a cruel childhood. Your mother's a cripple, so you must be too, they taunted. He'd grown up under constant scorn until his mother, broken by despair, took her own life, jumping from a 30-story building. Lewis once confessed, his voice heavy, if she was so fragile, why did she have me? Sometimes I think people with disabilities shouldn't have kids. They carry too heavy a burden and so do their children. Yet here he was, falling for a woman who shared that same struggle. A man who'd endured so much pain was now swept away by feelings he couldn't fight. Imagining their story felt like needles piercing my heart. When Lewis saw me, he looked stunned. Claire, what are you doing here? My eyes met Laura's. She was watching me calmly. You must be Mr. Altair's fiancée, Claire Harris, she said, her voice warm and confident. You're even lovelier in person. I'm Laura Madison, the lead model for this campaign. She was bright, radiant, and, aside from her prosthetic, every bit as confident as anyone else. So this was why, Louis? He avoided my gaze, shifting uncomfortably. Laura, standing tall in her high heels, smiled down at me. I've always envied petite women like you, Miss Harris, so delicate. Her words sounded kind, but her eyes held a flicker of challenge. I forced a smile, said nothing, and sank into Louis's chair, arms crossed. Go on with the shoot. I'm just watching. But then something went horribly wrong. The male model, in a scene meant to be a simple embrace, grabbed Laura roughly and forced a kiss on her. Stop playing hard to get, he growled. I like you. Why won't you be mine? Laura cried out as her clothes tore. In a flash, Louis lunged forward, yanking the man off her and landing a brutal punch that split his lip. The crew rushed to cover Laura as she trembled. Louis's eyes blazed with fury as he struck again and again, the man pleading, Stop. I was wrong. Louis was like a raging lion, his fists slamming down with relentless force. I'd only seen that look once before, years ago, when I shielded him from Rock's throne by his own family. Now, the male model lay bloodied, gasping. Louis didn't stop. I couldn't stay silent. Louis, that's enough. I shouted, grabbing his arm. Get out of the way. This creep deserves it, he roared, shoving without realizing it was me. I hit the ground hard, my palms scraped raw by the gravel. Claire. Louis dropped the man and rushed to me, helping me up. I took a shaky breath, the sting in my hands mirroring the ache in my heart. He reached to steady me but froze when Laura's soft sobs reached him. His fists clenched and he muttered, Claire, I need to take him to the hospital for a checkup. The police will need a statement. His eyes kept darting to Laura, like he was fighting not to run to her. The pain in my palms spread to my heart. Louis, I'm hurt too, I said, my voice trembling. You have staff for this. Why do you need to handle it yourself? You got into a fight. Do you realize you represent the Altair family? I knew how hard Louis had worked to build his reputation, every step careful and calculated.
But now?
A bloody scratch marked his face, his hair soaked with sweat, his eyes burning with rage. Was this really the composed Louis the world knew? My voice broke. Louis, you're throwing it all away. The crew whispered around us, staring. My fiancé, the man I'd loved for 6 years, was consumed with worry for another woman. How could I not be furious? Louis sighed heavily, his voice tired. Claire, you don't understand. That was sexual assault. Laura was in danger. As her boss, I couldn't just stand by. His eyes carried a warning, and I had no words left. My shoulders slumped as I watched him walk to Laura, leaning close to whisper comfort. When Clark arrived to pick me up, she saw the pain on my face. As we drove away, my phone buzzed with notifications. CEO of Altair Group beats up molester on set, trended online. Photos flooded the feed, Louis shielding Laura, striking the man, draping his coat over her trembling shoulders. The comment stung. Louis Altair is so protective. He stepped in for his employee, wow. Am I the only one who thinks Louis and Laura look perfect together? They're both tall, striking, like a magazine cover. Just get married already. My fingers froze over, look perfect together. Then a quieter comment caught my eye. Look at Lulisacra corner. Here's a surprise. The account was new, with one post from yesterday. He praised me for being brave today. The photo showed a frail hand holding a steaming cup, and on that wrist was the watch I'd given Louis for his birthday, worth over $1 million. The watch on her wrist, engraved with both our names, stared back at me from the photo. Scrolling further on at Lulisacra corner, I found another post. Rehabilitation was tough, but his words, imperfection is beauty, gave me strength. The attached image showed a man gently rubbing oil on Laura's prosthetic leg, an intimate gesture. Next to him sat a familiar bottle of woody-scented hand cream, the one I'd bought for Louis. My chest tightened, like an icy hand was squeezing my heart. All the tenderness I thought was mine alone had been shared with someone else. Late that night, the front door creaked open. Louis froze when he saw me sitting in the dark, my phone's glow lighting my face. Claire? Why are you up? I held up the screen. Louis, explain this. Who's behind at Lulisacra corner? His face stiffened, and he stepped closer, voice tight. Claire, it's not what you think. I pulled my hand back, forcing a bitter smile. Not what I think. This watch, the cufflinks, the hand cream, they're all gifts I gave you. You used them to comfort another woman, telling her imperfection is beauty? My eyes burned, but I refused to cry. Louis knelt, his gaze pleading. Laura's fragile. She's disabled and has been through a lot. As her boss, I wanted to support her, to make her feel strong. Those words were just to help her, nothing more. He reached for me, but I pulled away. Support? You brought her drinks, rubbed lotion on her leg, praised her courage. And when you called me so small, were you comparing me to her? That's disgusting. Claire? His voice cracked, desperate. I never meant it like that. You're the only one I love. He took a shaky breath. Yes, I felt sorry for her. She reminded me of my mother. But I swear I never crossed the line. You know where my heart is. Tears slid down my face, but I stayed silent. He hated seeing me cry, and his expression said it all. Then he stood, returning with a heavy wooden box. I was saving this for our wedding day. He knelt again, opening it to reveal dozens of small wooden carvings, rabbits, deer, pavilions, spires. You told me your grandfather used to make these to cheer you up, he said softly, lifting them out. This panda's from Greenwick, where you said you wanted one. This conch is from Solmere. There were 52 carvings, each tied to places we'd been or he'd traveled for work, each reflecting a small wish I'd once shared. You said no one would make these for you after your grandfather passed, he said, his eyes glistening. But I'm here, Claire. I'll love you the way he did. His words cracked the walls around my heart. Had I misjudged him? Was Laura just a shadow of his mother's memory? I wavered, then nodded. Okay, Louis. I'll trust you. But promise me, no more contact with Laura outside work. He pulled me into his arms. I promise, baby. He kissed my tears away, each touch trying to erase the pain. That night, I texted Clark, I'm trusting Louis again. True to his word, Louis posted a public statement. Laura Madison and I are not in the relationship people think. I'm marrying my fiancé in 3 days. Please support us. Louis's post, paired with a photo of us holding hands, flooded with supportive comments. The shipping remarks about him and Laura vanished. He handed all promotional work to his team, and Laura disappeared from our lives. I thought things would go back to normal. But the night before our wedding, I found a hidden folder on Louis's computer labeled LM. My heart stopped, Laura Madison. My lips trembled as I clicked. It was locked. I tried our birthdays, both wrong. Louis never used complex passwords. Then I remembered Laura's first post, June 28th, our first encounter. I typed it in, and the folder opened. Inside was a video. Louis, my partner of 6 years, was entangled with Laura in a passionate embrace. Her voice hissed through the speakers. Louis, why are you recording this? Don't you like it, Laura? I'll keep this forever. Even Claire doesn't get something like this. Only you, Laura. I love you. I clamped a hand over my mouth, tears burning my eyes. But I refused to cry again. Claire Harris, this is the last time you cry for him. That night, Louis came home from a banquet, reeking of alcohol. He threw his arms around me. Claire, we're getting married tomorrow. I'm so happy. I love you so much. I stared at him, my fingers already texting Clark. Give me a surprise at the wedding tomorrow. The next day, the wedding was a dream, radiant and beautiful. Family and friends smiled warmly, and Louis held me close, his voice trembling. Claire, I finally get to marry you. This is the best day. I forced a faint smile, but inside, I knew it was all a fragile illusion. As the wedding slideshow played, the screen flickered black. Louis frowned. What's wrong with the projector? I'll check. Then the screen lit up again, showing a high-definition and censored video of Louis and Laura in bed. Her sultry voice echoed, Louis, I love you so much. My parents slammed down the microphones, their fury shaking the room. Louis, what is this? My father roared, hurling a champagne glass to the floor. The crash silenced the crowd. This is your vow to my daughter? 6 years, and this is your grand wedding. My mother's face paled, her breath uneven. Clark caught her, tears streaming down her face. Claire, my poor Claire, what did you do to deserve this? Louis's face drained of color, his eyes wide with panic. Claire, it's not real. Someone's framing me. He shouted at the staff. Turn it off.
Now.
The technician, sweating, fumbled with the controls. Mr. Altair, the system's locked. I can't stop it. The video looped, Laura's voice piercing the air like poison. Enough. Jacob, Louis's father and the Altair patriarch, roared, rising with his cane. Louis, what the hell is going on?
Louis seized the lifeline.
Dad, it's edited. AI face swapping. Laura and I are innocent. Claire, you have to believe me. He lunged for my hand, but I stepped back. My gaze was cold. Louis, are you sure it's AI? True or fake? I see it clearly. His eyes flickered with guilt. His stepmother stepped in, her voice soft but forced. Claire, don't be upset. This is a misunderstanding. Everyone knows Louis loves you. Someone's trying to ruin you too. Let him explain. Explain? My laugh was sharp, cutting through the room. What if I told you I found this video in his study? That the password was the date of his first meeting with her? Louis's face crumpled. You did this, Claire? How could you? He raked his hand through his hair, stumbling forward. No, listen, the video's fake. I love you, only you. I flew across countries for our wedding rings. Believe me. His words twisted, desperate and contradictory. He grabbed for me, terrified of losing me. My father lunged to pull him away, but Jacob intervened. Tommy, calm down. Let's hear him out. Then a playful voice cut through the chaos. Since the video's out, why not make the best of it, Louis? All eyes turned to the red carpet entrance. Laura strode in, radiant in a white wedding gown, her prosthetic leg visible under the fabric. Her heels made her presence commanding. She glanced at Louis's ashen face, then locked eyes with me, a determined smile on her lips. Claire, since you've ended things, why not let us? She turned to Louis, her tone firm. Louis Altair, marry me. The room erupted in gasps and whispers, stunned by her bold words. Laura, are you insane?
Get out.
Louis's face twisted with rage, a stark contrast to the tenderness he'd shown her in the video. He pointed at her, eyes bloodshot. Who sent you here? Security, remove her. Laura didn't flinch. She laughed softly, her voice teasing. Louis, you lost a fiancé, but you still have me. Why deny it? You love me.
She tilted her head.
Remember what you said? I was a wild rose, thorny but irresistible. It's all in that video. Her words ignited the room. Louis snapped, lunging toward her. Shut up, Laura. I never said I loved you. That was, he faltered, panic flashing in his eyes. You seduced me. I was drunk.
It was a stupid mistake.
He turned to me, desperate. Claire, please, it was one time. I was drunk and didn't know what I was doing. I regretted it the second I woke up. I've only ever loved you. His voice broke as he rushed on. What's so special about her? She's disabled. How could I love someone who can barely walk? I only helped her, cared for her because I pitied her, like you'd pity a stray dog. How could I throw away our 6 years for her? Louis. Laura's face paled, her composure shattering. Her body shook as she screamed. What did you say? You called me a cripple? A stray dog? Her voice cracked. That's not what you said in bed. You said my flaws made you ache for me, that I was 100 times better than that fragile porcelain doll, Claire Harris. You said you were sick of her crying. Lies. Louis roared, his eyes burning with fury. I never said that. Stop making things up. You're nothing compared to Claire. She's been my treasure for 6 years. You were a mistake. Laura's face twisted with rage. She grabbed his arm, her nails digging in. You used me, Louis, and now you think you can toss me aside? You owe me. You'll marry me. Get off me. Louis shoved her away. Laura, unsteady in her heels, stumbled, her prosthetic legs scraping the floor. She looked broken. Then, she laughed, a bitter, twisted sound. She pulled a paper from her bag and held it high. You think you can ditch me? I'm pregnant, Louis. 8 weeks. It's yours. The room fell silent, every breath frozen. Laura's eyes locked on mine, gleaming with desperate triumph, as if her unborn child had already won her the prize. I didn't flinch. I stepped toward Laura, my gaze cold, lingering on her stomach. Pregnant? What a convenient blessing, Louis. I paused, my words sharp and deliberate. Laura, you've worked hard to snag Louis and the Altair family's power, haven't you? Too bad the tree you're clinging to is about to collapse. Collapse? Laura froze, her eyes wide. Louis's head snapped up, disbelief etched on his face. Claire, what are you saying? My father stepped forward, pulling me behind him. He ignored Louis and Laura, his gaze sweeping over the Altair family members, who shifted nervously. His voice was calm, but commanding. Jacob, we need to reconsider our partnership. Jacob slammed his cane down, forcing composure. Nonsense, Tommy. A fight between kids shouldn't shake our family's foundation. Louis was reckless, but we'll discipline him. We'll make it right for Claire. My mother wiped her tears, her voice icy. Make it right? Are you saying the video is fake? The pregnancy? Or does the Altair family think a Harris daughter deserves this humiliation? My father didn't argue. He pulled out his phone and called his secretary, his voice clear in the silent hall. Jared, take action. First, freeze all investment in Altair's Everbright New City project. Second, pull our technical team and patent licenses from the Altair New Energy Lab. Third, and the exclusive shipping deal with Altair Universal Logistics, effective immediately. The room erupted. Whispers spread like wildfire. That's Altair's flagship project. Without Harris funding, their whole chain collapses. No Harris Tech. The lab's dead. The stock price will tank. A man in a suit, the credit manager from Altair's biggest partner bank, stood quietly, signaled his assistant, and left without a word. His exit spoke volumes. The Altair family's downfall had begun.
No.
Tommy, please. Louis stumbled toward my father, voice cracking. It's my fault. Punish me, but don't cut the investment. The Altair family can't survive this. My father brushed him off coldly. Louis's stepmother shrieked, Tommy, you'll ruin us. Louis made mistakes, but... Enough. Jacob snapped, his face ashen. Tommy, we can negotiate. We'll give Claire anything, shares, property, you name it. I laughed softly, as if we cared about their offers. I linked arms with Clark and said calmly, Dad, Mom, let's go. This place is a mess. My father nodded, leading us out. Bodyguards cleared a path as we left the wreckage of what was supposed to be a fairy tale wedding. Louis chased after us, choking on car exhaust. Claire, don't leave. Give me another chance, he shouted hoarsely. I didn't look back. Monday morning, the stock market opened and Altair Group's shares crashed. Green numbers plummeted, 5%, 8%, 10%, until trading halted at the circuit breaker. Panic swept through the Altair family and their company. In his office, Louis answered a call from their largest bank. The voice was cold. Mr. Altair, due to your credit crisis and the Harris Group's withdrawal, we've raised our risk assessment. Repay the $200 million loan in full within 48 hours. Before he could respond, another call came. The Everbright New City manager sounded frantic. Suppliers stopped deliveries and want immediate payment. 3 construction crews walked off. The sites shut down. Then an email arrived. Project suspension notice. The Harris Labs team and patent holders had withdrawn at 8 a.m., locking all data. The new energy lab was dead. Termination letters from Altair Universal Logistics' biggest clients followed, all citing the ruined reputation and lost Harris contract. Damn it. Louis swept everything off his desk in a fury, cornered like never before. His father's voice roared through the phone. You've destroyed the Altair legacy. A coughing fit cut him off, followed by his stepmother's cry. Jacob, call a doctor. The line went dead. Moments later, Louis's cousin Mike called, his tone icy. You sent Grandpa to the ER with your mess. The family's in chaos. Uncles and aunts want an emergency meeting. Fix this or you're done. The office door slammed open. Shareholders, led by Hugo, stormed in, throwing stock reports on the desk. Louis, we've lost half our market cap in 30 minutes. The bank wants $200 million, the lab's dead, logistics is paralyzed. The Harris family's cut us off. Go beg them for reconciliation, or we'll remove you. Another shareholder, Jamie, added coldly. Without Harris investment and tech, Altair is nothing. Get on your knees if you have to, or you're out. Louis slumped in his office chair, his once sharp suit wrinkled, tie loose, and face shadowed with stubble. His father's furious shouts, his family's accusations, and the shareholders' demands battered him like a storm. He rubbed his aching temples and rasped, Hugo, Jamie, I'm trying to reach the Harris family. The door burst open. Laura stumbled in, pale and disheveled, her hair a tangled mess. She gripped his desk, sobbing. Louis, save me. My endorsements are cancelled, my agency dropped me, I have nothing. I'm pregnant with your child. You can't abandon me. The leaked video had turned the internet against her. The resilient model was now a despised homewrecker. Louis, already at his breaking point, shoved her hand away, his face twisted with disgust. Who cares? The Altair family is collapsing because of you. You put my father in the hospital, and I can't even save myself. Get out. He slammed the intercom. Security, remove this woman. She's banned from the building. 2 guards appeared, dragging Laura out as she screamed, her cries echoing under the shareholders' scornful glares. Silence fell. Louis stared at the trading screen, numbers plummeting, while gray clouds loomed outside. The weight of his mistake suffocated him. Desperate, he grabbed his car keys and bolted, tires screeching as he sped toward the Harris family estate. It was his last hope. Rain poured as he skidded to a halt at the wrought iron gates. Soaked and disheveled, he pounded on the bars, voice breaking. Claire, Mr. and Mrs. Harris, please open the gate. Give the Altair family one last chance. Only the rain answered, drumming through the trees. Hours passed, first 1, then 2. The sky darkened to black. Louis knelt in the downpour, unmoving, like a statue sinking in water, shouting my name. Claire, I know I was wrong. Please, let the Altair family live. Just see me. I set down my teacup, my heart cold and still. Enough. I took a black umbrella and walked to the gate alone, stopping my bodyguard with a raised hand. Some things I had to face myself. The gate creaked open. Louis's soaked face lit with desperate hope. Claire, you came? He staggered to his feet, clutching the drenched wooden box of carvings. Look, I brought these. After all these years, for the sake of these memories, give me another chance. Louis, I said, my voice as cold as the rain. Enough with your excuses.
His hope shattered.
Regret that's too late means nothing, I said, my gaze empty of anger, only indifference. Take your things and disappear. Whatever tied you to the Harris family ends here. No, Claire, you can't be this heartless. Louis's voice shook. I love you, only you. Everything else was a mistake. Love. I tilted my umbrella back, a faint, icy smile on my lips. Was it love when you carved trinkets to charm me while recording those videos with her? Was it love when you got her pregnant and let her humiliate me at my own wedding? Each word cut deeper. Your love is worthless. Louis's face crumpled, his tall frame swaying like it might collapse. Silence wrapped around him, his eyes dull and lifeless. Then a scream pierced the night. Claire Harris. Laura stumbled from a taxi, wild and unhinged, charging at me. You ruined me. If I can't live, neither will you. She pulled a gleaming fruit knife from her bag, its blade flashing in the rain. With a mad glint in her eyes, she lunged for my heart. My bodyguard's shout was lost in the storm. Too fast. At the last second, a figure slammed into Laura, knocking her aside. A sickening squelch echoed as the knife sank into flesh. Louis had saved me. The blade was buried in his side. He froze, staring at the handle, then lifted his eyes to mine, pain and regret clouding them. His grip tightened on Laura's wrist, stopping her from pulling the knife free. With his last strength, he rasped, I'm sorry, Claire. I know I was wrong. This isn't your fault, it's what I owe you. He collapsed, blood pooling beneath him. Laura shrieked, staring at her blood-stained hands. Sirens wailed, growing closer. Laura was sentenced to 7 years for attempted murder. She lost her child, her dreams of the spotlight shattered by her own actions. Louis survived, but his body was broken. The Altair group collapsed, the family scattered, and Louis vanished from my world, a ruined man. Epilogue. Early autumn, by the sea. A fire crackled in the pit. I opened the weathered wooden box and fed the 52 rain-soaked carvings to the flames. They curled, blackened, and turned to ash, carried away by the salty breeze. I stood in silence, a deep calm washing over me. The sunlight danced across the waves, scattering like golden shards. A gentle breeze brushed past. My new life, Claire Harris's life, was like this endless sea, peaceful, boundless, and free of shadows.